Thank you so much for being here today. Looks like everybody's excited to retire, I think. Amen. All right. Well, my name is Rod Boles. I'm the Communication and Education Manager at Teachers Retirement System. Thank you for having me. And Michelle, thank you so much for all your coordination and help. We were going to do this earlier a few weeks ago, and we had some weather. So can you hear me over there? Does this sound good? All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. A little bit about myself. I was in the Army for 20 years. I was a teacher, and now I work at Teacher Retirement System. So it is good to be there. So hopefully today you get some of your questions answered. I know this is being videoed, and I'm going to send all these slides to Michelle to send out to the district as well. Okay. This is the agenda that I'll be following. I will talk about the history of Teacher Retirement System, the overview, the mission, our vision, our actual membership and the plan, how it all works, our funding, how we're funded as a system, retirement eligibility, the formula. Then I will go through each option because you'll have options and everybody's life situation is different. We will go through all the options. Preparing to retire, I'll show you exactly how you prepare for retirement. And then once you retire and you decide that you miss your kids, how you come back into teacher retirement and stay. Okay, let's talk about the history of Teachers Retirement System. We just passed 80 years of service. The Constitution passed in legislature creating a pension plan in 1943, and we began our first payments in 1947. An overview of our system, it is a pension trust plan that provides service and disability retirement, death and survivor benefits, we'll talk about those, to all public education employees and their beneficiaries. All right, our mission, I'm going to read this word for word. We collect, protect, and grow assets to provide a secure retirement income for public education employees. All right, our vision, I hope you can see that. You can hear me at least. And I'm going to go through these in detail. Number one, provide quality service to our members in an efficient and effective manner. Provide our members on-demand and accurate access to their personal finance information. How we do that is the portal, the MyTRS portal. Every time we get the opportunity to talk to schools, I ask, can I see, show of hands, who has signed up to the MyTRS portal? That's good. That's a good turnout. If you have not, I strongly recommend you do, because at the end of this year, we are trying to go paperless. So you will receive most all of your information from that MyTRS member portal. Make sure you, and I'll tell you this again, make sure you have a personal email, not a school email. All right, number three, educate our members on their retirement benefits. That's why I'm here today. All right, also, if you haven't been on our website, lately, we have revamped our website. We have a bunch of informational videos. We have steps. We have forms on there. Everything that you need to know about retiring and the preparation. All right, next, manage the assets of the plan as defined in the board's investment policy. And then lastly, inform our members about the financial status of TRS. I talked to our chief investment officer before I came here today. In our system, our portfolio, we have just over $22 billion in our system. We're healthier now than we've ever been. So that's good. That's a good news story. Okay, who do we serve? We serve you, the 606 employers, public education employers, K-12 colleges, universities, career techs, and agencies devoted to public education. All right, who is eligible for our system? Mandatory employees, these are the folks that are automatically in our system. Any teacher, administrator, librarian, certified nurse, college professor, college president whose salary comes through public funds. Any employee from the State Department, Board of Regents, our Board of Trustees, or who is in a supervisory administrative role whose pay comes from public education. All right, the non-classified optional employees. These folks are your teacher's aide, your cooks, janitors, non-supervisory folks, your bus drivers, non-registered nurses, and clerical employees. The key here is you have to work at least 20 hours, be in a non-supervisory role. I'm going to talk about this in just a second. All right, Senate Bill 683, if you're familiar, just a few years ago it passed, and what it said basically was our optional personnel could opt in our system within 30 days of starting. Used to, before this bill was passed, the optional employees had to wait an entire year before they came in our system. Now, they would actually have to opt out of our system because they would automatically be in the system as long as they work 20 hours. Okay, membership. This is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. Our actuary looks at all our data by FY, just like a school runs. And so all this information is as of June 30th, 2023. So as you can see, we have over 100,000 active members in teacher retirement system. We have almost 70,000 retirees and almost 30,000 inactive vested and non-vested members for a total of over 200,000 members. When you think of teacher retirement, at least I didn't, you don't think that we have that many people in our system, but we do. And I'll show you a slide later that's pretty fascinating. But I want you to put this number in your memory, 200,000, because I'm going to come back to it. All right, these are our demographics. Again, this is the average. This is a 20-hour-a-week optional personnel and a college president. This is the average. All right, the compensation in FY23 was $52,362. The average age in our system, the average age in our system was 45 years of service, 10 years of service. Our average retired member last year made $23,512. Again, these are averages. Okay, who's ineligible for our system? Non-classified employees that work less than 20 hours a week, substitute or regular seasonal graduates, assistants, fellowship recipients, consultants, contractors as approved by TRS, student employees, as you might think, and employees whose compensation comes from other than public education. All right, let's talk about the plan. It's a defined benefit plan with 5 retirement options that I'll talk about in a minute. Lifetime benefits to members and options for a joint annuitant, survivor benefits, death benefit payment to beneficiaries of active, $18,000 and retired $5,000. So what this means is, heaven forbid something happened to us as we drive home tonight, our beneficiary would receive $18,000 in whatever we have in our member account. Now, our member account is what we've been paying in our entire career. All right, that's 7%. That's what is in our member account. So that's what your beneficiary would get. Your retired members, they would receive $5,000, and if they have anything in that member account. Let me explain one key factor to this in case, since some of you may be getting ready to retire or you know someone who's retired. The $5,000 death benefit, if it goes to a person, if you designate a person after taxes, that person would receive about $4,000. But you can take the $5,000 and earmark a funeral home. If you know which funeral home you're going to use, and all $5,000 would go to the funeral home, and they would pay the taxes on it. Food for thought, if that's what you would like to do. But we want to get that information out there. Lastly is health insurance supplement. We're not in the health insurance business. However, retired members, if you have 10 or more years of service, you can receive a supplement of between $100 and $105 should you continue your current health insurance with your school. All right, how is my benefit calculated? This is our formula. Years of service times final average salary times 2% equals your annual retirement benefit. And I'll go in detail with this as well. All right, let me talk about this. So, rule of 80. I bet we have some rule of 80 folks here, yes? Good for you. All of us rule of 90 people wish we were rule of 80 people. Okay, rule of 80. As you know, it's your age plus your service equal 80 or age 62. That is the rule of 80. All right? Also, it's the highest 3 salaries. Not your final 3, your highest 3. Okay? So, rule of 90. If you came in, and I guess this isn't working on the board here, but if you came in July 1st, 1992 through October 31st, 2011, rule of 90, it's your age plus your service equal 90 or age 62. And on this plan, it's the highest consecutive 5 salaries. Notice it's consecutive too, okay? Consecutive 5 salaries. If you came in after October 31st, 2011, rule of 90, minimum age 60. You have to be 60 to retire under this plan. All right, minimum age 60, bless you, in order to retire, or for full benefit, age 65. All right, again, it's high 5. Now, I don't know if you can see the bottom. Did anyone here start after 2017? Probably not. Yes. Okay, for those who joined the system prior to November 1st, 2017, it's 5 years to vest. You probably know this. It's a 5-year vest. If you started after November 1st, 2017, it's a 7-year vest. Vesting just means you have to contribute in our system for 5 consecutive years or 7 in order to be eligible to retire. Okay, disability retirement. Members can qualify for a disability retirement if your medical condition prevents you from performing regular duties at your public school, all right? Also, you have to have at least 10 years service, submit an application detailing your medical condition that existed while employed with your public school. It has to be approved by the TRS Medical Board. We have about 4 doctors who come in to TRS every month and review files. Or be awarded Social Security disability. We look at about 10 files per month, roughly. Okay, this is a simple math example. Are there any math teachers? This will be nothing to you. This will be easy for you. Okay, so in this instance, a benefit calculation, this person started after July 1st, 1995. 20 years of service, the final average salary was $50,000. In our formula, you take $50,000 times 2%, it equates to $1,000. 1,000 times the 20 years equal $20,000 a year. If you divide that by 12 months, it's $1,667 per month. This is just an example of how it works. Okay, everybody's will be different. This just shows you how it works. Okay, how is our system funded? Investment earnings, by and large, that's the biggest. Employer contributions, that the employer gives money as well. Member contributions, that's 7%. State dedicated revenue of income tax, sales tax, lottery, cigarette, and tobacco products. Now let me show you this. This is just a pie chart of the last 30 years so you can see where our money comes from. Investment earnings, by and large, again, that's 49% of our $22 billion. In the last 30 years, has earned $22.8 billion. Next, you have the employer matching contributions, and then you have your member contributions, followed, the smallest is dedicated state revenue. But this is just a snapshot of what it looks like for 30 years. All right, funding history. If you were around in the 80s and you're here now still, we have changed a lot, as you know, right? And look at our funding history in 2010. We were 47.9 funded. Right now, we're 75.1% funded. What this means is, if you take those 100,000 active educators, regardless of where they are in their career, we could fund 75.1% of them for the rest of their life. Does that make sense? So that's where we are right now, and we're on the glide path in the next 12 or 14 years to be 100% funded. So we're in the best place that we've ever been, in 80 years, so that's great. All right, this is the busiest slide that we have, okay? Administrative cost. In FY22, TRS paid $1.6 billion in benefit payments. Admin expenses for TRS were 0.37% of benefit paid. At this level, Oklahoma TRS is the lowest cost system in the second smallest quartile of systems. In layman terms, we do more with less. What this is telling you is, remember that 200,000 members number that we talked about earlier? Do you know how many people work at TRS that supports 200,000 people? 52. That's what this slide means. We have 52 people that support 200,000. So we have some really good people there working for you. Okay, when do I become eligible? You know this. We just went over this slide. Who knows what ESIP is? Anybody? Where away? ESIP? Anybody ever heard of this? Capped, uncapped? These are your folks who, if you were in our system before July of 1995. So you have capped and uncapped. And if you started after 1995, this will not affect you. This is just for those folks who came in prior to. So prior to July 1st, 1995, salaries were capped at a minimum of $25,000 or $40,000. The member chose which one they wanted to contribute. You could only contribute to those two. So you might not contribute to your full salary. Uncapped after July 1st, 1995 to now, funds are allowed to contribute based on your salary. So that 7% that goes into your member account is uncapped. You can give based on your current salary. And by the way, we have questions, can you put more than that 7% in our fund? And you cannot, unfortunately. It's just the 7%. So they came up with the Education Employees Service Incentive Plan, or ESIP. It's also known as Wear-Away. It removes caps from prior to July 1st, 1995. Excuse me. It converts capped years to uncapped. So you have to reach full retirement, either the rule of 80, rule of 90, or age 62. And once you reach that full retirement, for every year you work beyond full retirement, you can uncap 2 years of your pre-95 service. That way that you can contribute and get a larger retirement. It moves 2 years of capped salary to uncapped. It can increase significantly. Let me show you this. For example, this is another simple math thing. If you had 10 years of capped service, let's say 1985 to 1995, and you have 20 years of uncapped, meaning you've contributed based on your salary. Once you get to full retirement, and you have those 10 years capped, once you get to full retirement, if you work 5 additional years, again, every 1 year you work beyond your retirement, it uncaps 2 years. So it would, if you work 5 additional years, it would uncap all 10 of those years. That means you could contribute if there's any difference on those capped years. Let's say, for example, you had 35 total years, all right, and they're all uncapped. The final average salary of $50,000 times 2% equals $1,000. 1,000 times 35 is $35,000. That's $2,917 monthly. If you did that. If you didn't do that, you would make $2,300. So there's a $600 difference in this example if you chose to do that, okay? And you would learn all this specifically whenever you got time to retire and you're asking us to factor all your years together. We would come to you and say, hey, would you like to do this? That's when this comes into play. Okay, let's talk about the options, because you all have options. All right, you have 5 different options for calculation. Again, whenever you retire, it is a monthly income as long as you live. We talked about the $5,000 death benefit payable to your beneficiary. We're not in the life insurance business, but we can provide a subsidy if you so choose. Obviously, whenever you get your retirement paycheck, it is taxable income. And as you see in the bold there, please keep your beneficiary designation updated. We get calls daily if there is a member or retired member's death. And the first thing we do is pull that beneficiary form. And I know you've all done this because it should be on file. But even after you retire, if anything changes, please keep that updated. Okay, so these are the retirement plans. Again, I'm going to go in depth through all these. You have your maximum plan, your option 1 single life annuity, option 2 100% joint survivor, option 3 50% joint survivor, and then your option 4 10-year certain, and the lump sum option as well. Okay, so let's look at the first one. It's exactly what you think. This is where you're going to get your biggest paycheck. 100% retirement benefit, lifetime benefit for member. Member account balance reduced each month by monthly benefit payment. Account balance exhausted in 2 years. Let me explain that. Again, your whole career you've been paying that 7%, or you've had a school pay part of it. If you've looked at your member statement, which you all have received a member statement, you either get it electronically on your MyTRS account or it's been mailed to you. Does everyone understand what I'm saying? The member statement. On your member statement, it tells how much you have in your account balance. You can go on there right now and see what you have. In that account balance, what this means is whenever you retire, within 2 years, your payments come out of that account balance. That little pot of money, that is your account. And then after those 2 years, it comes from the $22 billion balance. You're not going to see it one way or the other. The only way this comes into effect is if you were to pass away, your beneficiary would get whatever's left. All right, that's how that works. So in this case, in this scenario, this is your largest paycheck, and it comes just to you, nobody else but you. All right? Any balance in your account, if you were to pass away within 2 years, goes to a beneficiary or the estate. Okay? Option 1. This is about 99% of the maximum benefit. Again, it's for life. The only difference between this and the maximum benefit is your account balance is slowly exhausted over 10 years. So you would choose this option if in 10 years you were to pass away from retirement. They would get that, your beneficiary would get that $5,000 and get whatever's left in your member account balance. So it's just a slower draw. Let's say you had $60,000 in there. So every month you're getting part of that given to you in retirement. And if there's anything left, that's when it would go to your beneficiary. All right, option 2. This is your least paycheck. You will get the least amount, all right? Approximately 85 to 95%. However, 100% survivor annuity. All right? What that means is whenever you pass away, let's say you designate a joint annuitant. That means they continue to receive your check as long as they live, so long as they're a spouse or someone within 10 years of your age. All right? Again, it's the smallest paycheck, but in your passing, this joint annuitant gets the paycheck as long as they live. Now, at the bottom there, you see pop-up provision. What this means is, heaven forbid, your joint annuitant predeceases you. Your joint annuitant dies before you. When that happens, we will be notified, and you would pop up to the maximum option. That way you get the maximum benefit. All right? You get the maximum benefit. All right. Option 3 is just like option 2. It's about 91 to 97% of the maximum benefit, and it's a 50% survivor annuity, meaning on your joint annuitant, just as you would think, they would get 50% of your paycheck as long as they live. Here's the difference. Does not have to be a spouse or someone within 10 years of your age. All right? Again, pop-up provision, meaning if your joint annuitant predeceases you, you go to the maximum option. I just want you for a minute. Look how happy these people are. This could be you. All right, so you have options. The good thing is you have options. All right, option 4. This is another lifetime benefit, as they all are. Single life annuity for 10 years, term certain. What that means is we guarantee 120 months, no matter what, to you. Well, you're going to get it your life, but if you were to pass away, your joint annuitant, or your beneficiary would at least get 10 years of that payment, all right? We go 120 months with this. Now, partial lump sum option. For those honored veteran educators who have 30 years, God bless you. You have this option. You have to have at least 30 years of service, and you can elect a lump sum payment equal to 12, 24, or 36 months. All right? It reduces your monthly retirement benefit, but you would get a lump sum. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like here in a sec. All right, again, the 10-year insurance subsidy. If you look on your left there, your final average salary is what you can see on the left. The top upper right, you can see 25 or more years of service. We give out usually the bottom column $102 for those who choose to do so. Again, in order to take the insurance subsidy, you would have to work at least 10 years and keep your current health insurance into retirement. All right, do you have service to purchase? Many people do. Have you been a substitute for 122 days in a row? Or 120 days in a row? Have you been an adjunct? Military. Have you served in the military? Out of state? Prior Oklahoma service? Redeposit. Did you teach, for example, withdraw your money and now you want to put your money back in? You have this option. We have to verify this information, and it must be purchased within 90 days prior to retire date. Another key note on this, it's not a lump sum. Let's say, for example, you were in the military for 5 years and you wanted to buy back 5 years of your military service. It's not a lump sum once we get all your information. You could have part of this taken out of your paycheck. I think it's 5 or 6 years if you so choose to do that as well. All right, whenever you retire, this is your first step, pre-retirement information verification. This form is on our website. If you go to our website and click forms, this is going to ask of you, all right? The following information: your name, mailing address, your Social Security number, proof of birth, if you're a joint annuitant as well, marriage license, requested retirement date, and I'll talk about this in a minute, but your unused sick leave, and we have to get this at least 90 days before your retirement date. This is what you do if you think you want to retire and you kind of want us to do the math and get back with you where you can see the data and sit down with your loved ones and kind of decide, hey, should we retire, should we not? And that kind of gives you the ball rolling, okay? Sick leave days. As you all know, 120 days equal 1 year of service credit. Now, this changed in 2014 to where if you don't have 120 days, you can still get a fraction of a year of service, okay? So if you had, in this example, 60 days, you could get a half year service credit, all right? And I will tell you, if you have been in different districts throughout your career, make sure you have all that unused sick leave credit, because we have found sometimes in folks' careers they've gone from one place to another and never transferred their sick leave and would have to go 30 years later to the school they taught at when they first came out and said, hey, do you have any of my unused sick leave? So make sure you have all the sick leave that you have earned. All right, audit. We will audit your years of service, your salaries and contributions. I will tell you, just FYI, in our retirement planning division, we have 5 people that work there. And last year, we processed and audited 5,000 retirements. So that's just, that 100,000 people that we have serving right now, 5,000 retired last year. So that kind of tells you how many retire a year, Retirement projection, you wouldn't do this 12 months out, because if you're more than 12 months out, what do? You go on the MyTRS and use that retirement calculator. If you've ever used that projection calculator, it's not an exact science, but it kind of tells you, if you've ever gone on there, it kind of tells you what it's going to be. And then you'll finally do your application to retire. This is if you're within 12 months. All right, I know all of you cannot read this. That's why I'm going to send the slides out, but just hear me. So this is a retirement projection. This is one of the things that we will send you. For example, this individual is 60 years old. Final average salary is $49,776, has 25 years of service. This person could retire early and draw 69% of their retirement, because everyone retires at different times. If they did that with the max option, they would make $1,400. If they worked 3 short years more, making the same salary, at age 63, a young 63, they would draw 100% of their retirement and make $2,300 a month. So 3 years, in this case, is $900 a month. I mean, that's significant. That is significant. Food for thought. Okay, this is the magic sheet that you're going to get, that you're going to sit down with your loved ones, your friends, and this is really your deciding tool that you're going to use whenever you retire. Let me kind of go over it with you. This is an example of someone who's going to retire in June of this year, retirement age 62. You can see the birth date, the joint annuitant, total deposit. So this person in their member account has paid $69,000 throughout their whole career. So their member account is $69,000. The final average salary after 30 years was $57,000. What you're going to look at is to the left here, your maximum option. If you did not take a lump sum, the max option was $2,896. Option 1 is $2,884. Option 2 is $2,626. Option 3 is $2,755. And then option 4 is $2,855. Now, if you so choose to take the 12, 24, and 36-month lump sum, you can see what your payment would be. Whenever you get the slides, I guess. You will see what it would be, but it's slightly less. It's slightly less, but you would draw that lump sum, and I've asked our folks, why do people take the lump sum? I'm just curious. And it's for different reasons, just like we're all different. Some people reinvest it. Some people, down payment on a house, they go buy a motorcycle, they buy an RV, whatever. You have your reasons why you would want to do that, and that's an option. That's just another option for you. Now, I will tell you that when folks come up, they ask our planning consultants, after we lay out all the cards, so to speak, they'll say, well, what do you think I should do? Well, that's your decision. We show you everything that your options for you that you can take. It's your decision. Okay, so we're still talking about retirement. So once you complete that sheet and y'all decide, hey, this is what we want to do, you sign and date it, you return it back to us within 60 days, and you schedule a phone consultation, a team, Zoom. If you want to come see us, and we go over it together. All right? Then you get the final retirement contract. Excuse me. We mail it to you. You sign and date it, have it notarized. It's an official document. You return the contract at least 30 days from your retirement. And that's it. This is a timeline example. This is what we see the most of simply because school's out in May, you retire in June. That's kind of what we see. So your pre-retirement information verification, when you just submit trying to get information back, folks do that by March 1st. Your application to retire April 1st. Once you agree which option you're going to take, your contract May the 1st. Your effective retirement date would be June 1st, and you get that check July 1st. The key is that you plan it to where you never miss a payment from your current job to your retirement. You never want to miss a payment. Again, this is an example, but we have timelines on our website and some of those brochures. By the way, I have never seen anyone get brochures that fast in my entire life. Wow, that's amazing. All right, you've earned it, retirement. You have the opportunity to go to Paris, go fishing, go golf. You can do any of these. Okay, now, after you go home and you choose to come back because you miss the kids, as of today, this is what it looks like. All right? There are earnings limits. If you come back to Oklahoma Public Schools, or that's K-12 Higher Ed Career Tech, or if you want to work for the State Department of Education, Teachers Retirement, Higher Ed, you must be retired at least 60 calendar days. Now let me explain this. Again, this is as of today. If you're retired less than 36 months and you're not yet 62, you can receive your full retirement check and earn the lesser of $22,320 a year, which is the Social Security Administration limit, or 1/2 of your final average salary. If you're age 62 and over, you can earn the lesser of, you draw your full retirement, earn the lesser of $30,000 or 1/2 your final average salary. All right, this is based on a calendar year. If you're retired more than 36 months, 3 years, no limit. You can draw your full retirement and get your full salary. And I have some brochures that explain this as well. Okay, My TRS, if you have not signed up, this is how you do it, because you need to do it. You go to our website. You can Google Teachers Retirement System of Oklahoma. The first thing you're going to see, you click Active Members, My TRS. Then it's going to come to this screen, My TRS Member Portal. All right? Once you register, it's going to send you an email. You're going to have to answer security questions, like as you can imagine. And then once you receive everything, they'll send you an email and you'll be able to log in. All right, right there. All right. This is a busy slide. The bottom line is, in order to get your information in the future, you're going to have to sign up to My TRS. Retirees as well. Retirees as well. So we send out our advisor newsletter. We have another one that's about to be sent. Your member statements, which you have access to right now. We have a popular annual finance report. And any information that we need to get out to you all, we're going to do based on the My TRS portal. So any information we have, that's how we're going to send it. All right? Except the 1099, of course. That will be mailed. Okay, so what will this be? Your active members, you have your account balance. So that, again, that's 7%. You can see up to date your account balance, your years of service. You kind of, it's a check and balance. You can ensure all your information is correct. Your salary history, retirement projection, that's that tool that you can kind of play around with online to see whenever you do retire. Two-way messaging, that just means that we will answer your questions. Retired members can do an income verification. 1099-R, they can do tax withholdings. Right now, for active members, you would do all that through your school. All right, this is another fascinating slide. Did you know that we, Teachers Retirement System of Oklahoma, is the largest pension plan in the state of Oklahoma? We are larger than the Department of Defense, Walmart, and Amazon. That's amazing to me. That's unbelievable. I don't think of, when you think of Teachers Retirement System, it's mind-blowing that we're the largest. All right, here's the economic impact of benefits paid. You can see there. And if you look in the middle, it says 86.8% of benefits remain in the state. That means when people retire, they're staying in Oklahoma. All right, the top 3 counties, this is Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland. $107.7 million is paid out every year to retirees in this county. It's pretty significant. Okay, where are we? We are on Northwest 63rd, if you've ever been up our way. We're in the Harvey Parkway building. We're on the 5th floor. This is our number. Should you need it, to call us. I'm going to give you another slide that has some information. You can contact us. We have an information system where they're all there literally answering questions all day. Member services, retirement planning, that's the folks that will process your actual retirement. I work in communication and education, and then we have legislation and policy. With the folks at the Capitol right now in session, we have a dedicated lawyer who is up there all the time. I want to thank you all for being here today. If you have any questions, you are welcome to email me. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
Real quick, on the lump sum, on the